A queen in Islam is not celebrated for the throne she sits on, nor for the crown she wears, but for the values she carries within her heart. Her dignity shines when she holds firmly to her faith. Her strength is shown not in how loud she speaks, but in how gracefully she lives by Allah's commands. Every step she takes, every decision she makes is guided by principles that protect her honor and elevate her status in this world and in the hereafter. These are not just habits, but golden keys that unlock her true power, the power of being loved by Allah and respected by creation. Today, we explore 12 golden principles that define the essence of a true queen in Islam. Principles that every woman of faith can hold on to and rise with confidence, courage, and unshakable faith. A queen in Islam is not recognized by the ornaments on her head or the wealth she displays, but by the strength of her iman. Jewels may glitter under the light, but faith shines in both darkness and daylight. Her dignity comes from knowing that her true crown cannot be bought, stolen, or diminished. It is granted by Allah. This is the crown that elevates her above worldly measures of worth. The world often tells women that beauty is their crown, but Islam reminds us that faith is what truly crowns them with honor. A woman may possess elegance, charm, and material luxury, yet without faith, her crown is fragile. But when iman rests on her heart, she walks with a light that no fashion, wealth, or status can match. That light itself is her crown. Faith as a crown is unshakable because it comes from Allah. It does not fade with age, it does not lose value with time, and it cannot be outshone by worldly treasures. This crown accompanies her through youth and old age, through hardship and ease. It is a crown that never slips because it rests firmly in her devotion to her Creator. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, reminded us that Allah looks not at appearances but at hearts. A queen in Islam wears her crown in her heart before it ever reflects in her actions. Her modesty, her humility, and her worship are visible jewels, but the foundation is always her faith. That is why her crown is priceless. When faith crowns a woman, she is not swayed by trends that come and go. She knows that her value is not in imitating what society dictates, but in holding on to what Allah commands. While the world changes its definition of beauty every season, her crown of faith remains constant, timeless, and unshaken. This crown is also a shield. It protects her from those who wish to exploit her, because she knows her worth and will not cheapen it. Faith gives her strength to walk away from situations that threaten her dignity. Her crown is her protection, and no worldly jewel can offer such security. Faith is the crown that inspires her actions. The way she speaks, the way she carries herself, the choices she makes, all are influenced by her devotion to Allah. When people see her kindness, her sincerity, and her patience, they realize she is no ordinary woman. She is crowned by faith. A crown of jewels may attract eyes, but a crown of faith attracts hearts. People are drawn to her because of her character, her honesty, and her compassion. They trust her, respect her, and admire her, not for what she owns, but for who she is. This is the lasting beauty of a queen in Islam. Her crown is invisible to the world, but it is clear in the sight of Allah. Angels recognize it, blessings descend upon it, and Allah honors it on the day of judgment. The crown of faith is not meant to impress people, and it is meant to elevate her soul before her Creator. That is why it is the most precious crown of all. A queen's crown of faith gives her confidence. She does not need validation from others because she already knows her worth through Allah. Even when criticized or mocked, she stands tall because her crown is not placed by people. It is given by the Almighty. That inner strength makes her unshakable. This crown is not heavy, rather it lightens her burdens. When difficulties come, her faith reminds her that Allah is near. Her crown is made of patience, trust, and resilience, which carry her through storms. While others break under pressure, her faith sustains her with dignity and hope. Her crown of faith also beautifies her character. Just as jewels sparkle under light, her iman shines through her words and actions. Her kindness sparkles brighter than diamonds. Her modesty outshines pearls, and her forgiveness is more valuable than gold. This beauty remains long after worldly beauty fades. A queen in Islam knows that faith is not just a personal crown, but a legacy. She passes it on to her children, her community, and the generations after her. Her example inspires others to wear the same crown, building a society rooted in dignity and devotion. Her influence becomes timeless. Faith as a crown makes her rich even in poverty. She may not own gold or silver, but her heart is filled with contentment. People may pity her for not having worldly treasures, but in truth, she possesses a crown that kings and queens of this world could never buy. Her crown is faith, not jewels, because jewels belong to this world, but faith belongs to eternity. When she returns to Allah, her crown will shine brighter than anything she left behind. It will be the reason she is honored, elevated, and welcomed into Jannah, where crowns of everlasting glory will await her. True honor is not found in wealth, beauty, or fame. It is protected by taqwa. A woman crowned with faith knows that her dignity is linked to her consciousness of Allah. When she guards her actions, her words, and even her thoughts with mindfulness of Him, her honor remains untouchable. No one can strip it away, for it is preserved by the Almighty Himself. Taqwa acts like a fortress around her dignity. People may try to belittle her or misjudge her, but as long as she fears Allah and avoids what displeases Him, she remains honored in His sight. That is the highest form of respect, greater than any recognition given by society. Her honor does not depend on others, but on her relationship with her Creator. When she walks with taqwa, her choices reflect integrity. She avoids dishonesty, arrogance, and injustice because she knows Allah is watching. This self-awareness preserves her reputation and keeps her honor intact. Even when others do not notice her sacrifices, Allah records every moment of restraint and elevates her. Honor guarded by taqwa shines brightest in times of temptation. While others may be lured by fleeting pleasures, she chooses what pleases Allah. That choice may be difficult, but it keeps her dignity pure. Her ability to say no to disobedience is what makes her stand tall as a true queen in Islam. A woman with taqwa guards her speech carefully. She avoids gossip, harshness, and lies, knowing that words can destroy honor faster than actions. Her tongue becomes a tool of kindness and truth, and through it she earns the respect of those around her. Taqwa keeps her from lowering herself to insults or arguments. Her honor is also guarded by modesty, which is a branch of taqwa. She dresses with dignity, speaks with humility, and carries herself with grace. She does not seek attention for her appearance, but for her character. That quiet strength makes her shine far brighter than those who chase worldly validation. Taqwa protects her in private as well as in public. True honor is not only in what people see, but in what Allah sees. She remembers Him behind closed doors, resisting sin even when no one is watching. That hidden sincerity is what makes her honor genuine and everlasting. Honor guarded by taqwa also means being fair and just. She does not oppress others, nor does she allow pride to cloud her judgment. Even in positions of influence, she remembers that Allah is above her and that accountability awaits. This humility preserves her respect in both worlds. A queen in Islam values her honor more than fleeting desires. She knows that losing her connection with Allah is the greatest loss of all. So she guards her dignity with patience, preferring hardship with taqwa over comfort with disobedience. That resilience makes her strong and admired. Taqwa also teaches her to forgive, which is a form of honor. Holding grudges may seem powerful, but true nobility is in letting go. By forgiving for the sake of Allah, she frees her heart and elevates her status. People respect her not because she never faced pain, but because she responded to it with grace. Honor guarded by taqwa inspires trust. Those around her know she is sincere, reliable, and truthful. People feel safe in her presence because she lives by principles, not by whims. This trust is one of the greatest forms of respect that a person can receive in this life. A woman of taqwa carries herself with dignity even in hardship. Trials do not make her bitter, but stronger. She endures with patience and continues to hold on to her values, refusing to let suffering drag her into sin. This resilience becomes a crown of honor that no one can deny. Her honor is not in being flawless, but in returning to Allah after mistakes. Taqwa keeps her heart alive with repentance, ensuring that slips do not define her. Each time she seeks forgiveness, Allah elevates her rank. Her humility in admitting her faults is what preserves her true dignity. The Quran teaches us that the most honored in the sight of Allah are those with taqwa. This reminder assures her that her efforts are never wasted. Even if the world overlooks her, Allah sees her, honors her, and raises her higher than those who chase worldly crowns. That is the true definition of nobility. Honor guarded by taqwa is everlasting. Beauty fades, wealth disappears, and fame dies, but taqwa lives on. It shines in the grave, it intercedes on the day of judgment, and it leads her to eternal honor in Jannah. That is why the greatest crown a queen in Islam can wear is the crown of taqwa. Silence is not weakness, it is strength. A queen in Islam knows that her silence in the face of provocation can speak louder than 1,000 angry words. Her restraint is not emptiness but wisdom, for she understands that Allah loves those who control their tongues and respond with patience. When she remains silent, she is not ignoring others, she is protecting her dignity. Arguments and insults may surround her, but she chooses quietness as her shield. This silence carries power, for it shows she values her honor over winning meaningless battles. Silence teaches self-control. It allows her to weigh her words before speaking, ensuring they bring benefit rather than harm. Through silence, she practices wisdom, because she knows once words leave her mouth, they cannot be taken back. A queen in Islam uses silence as a tool of reflection. Instead of rushing to speak, she contemplates. This pause gives her clarity and prevents regret. Her silence is thoughtful, not empty, and it often leads to actions that are far wiser than hastily spoken words. In times of anger, silence becomes her savior. She remembers the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that true strength is not in overpowering others, but in controlling one's temper. Her silence in those heated moments shows true strength of character. Sometimes silence is the most powerful answer. When people expect a harsh response but receive calmness instead, they are left speechless. This silent reaction reflects her nobility and leaves a lasting impression far greater than words could achieve. Silence can also be an act of worship. Holding her tongue from gossip, slander, or backbiting is a form of taqwa. Every time she chooses silence over sin, she earns reward from Allah. Her silence becomes a shield not only in this life but on the day of judgment. Her silence often speaks mercy. Instead of exposing someone's faults, she chooses to remain quiet, giving them a chance to correct themselves. This choice is not weakness but compassion, and it reflects the character of someone guided by Allah. Silence allows her to listen more deeply. She values understanding others before responding, and through this habit, she gains wisdom. Listening is part of silence, and it allows her to build stronger, more sincere relationships. And at times, silence is a form of dignity. She does not lower herself to respond to insults or mockery. Remaining quiet in such situations protects her honor, while engaging would only cheapen it. Her silence proves her maturity. Silence helps her protect secrets. Not everything she knows needs to be shared, and not every truth needs to be announced. By guarding her tongue, she safeguards trust, and this makes her reliable in the eyes of others. Her silence also speaks when words are insufficient. A tear, a smile, or a look of compassion can carry more meaning than long speeches. This silent communication is often more heartfelt, sincere, and impactful. A queen in Islam knows that silence is not about being voiceless, but about choosing the right time to speak. She waits until her words can bring value, healing, or direction. Until then, her silence itself is wisdom. In moments of worship, silence deepens her connection with Allah. Reflecting quietly after prayer or sitting in stillness with the Quran allows her heart to absorb guidance. This sacred silence is filled with remembrance, and sometimes silence is the answer to injustice. Instead of shouting in vain, she takes her matter to Allah in dua. Her silence in the world is balanced by her cries to the Almighty, who hears every complaint and answers every call. Silence teaches her humility. By not always needing to be heard, she acknowledges that wisdom is not about speaking the most, but about speaking at the right moment. This humility makes her respected and admired by those around her. There are times when silence brings peace. Disputes can escalate with just one word, but her silence prevents fire from spreading. This calmness turns her into a peacemaker, someone who carries tranquility wherever she goes. Her silence also protects her from regret. Many people look back wishing they had said less, but rarely do they regret saying nothing. By remaining silent when unsure, she safeguards her dignity and avoids mistakes. Silence allows space for reflection on the hereafter. In her quiet moments, she thinks about accountability, jannah, and meeting Allah. These reflections strengthen her faith, and her silence becomes a doorway to spiritual growth. At times, silence is wisdom because it teaches patience. Waiting, listening, and observing before speaking allows her to see things others miss. This patience gives her perspective, and perspective gives her strength. Silence can heal wounds. Instead of harshly confronting someone, she allows time and calmness to settle emotions. Her silence paves the way for reconciliation, showing that wisdom sometimes lies in restraint, not confrontation. A queen in Islam uses silence to avoid showing arrogance. She doesn't need to prove herself constantly with words. Her actions and character speak louder than claims. This silent confidence is a mark of true dignity. Silence in gatherings can be more valuable than constant talking. By listening, she gains knowledge, learns lessons, and observes details others overlook. Her silence transforms her into a woman of depth, not superficiality. Her silence often becomes a form of strength for others. When someone pours out their heart, she listens quietly, giving them space to heal. In such moments, her silence is more supportive than any advice she could have offered. Silence teaches her to value words. Because she does not speak excessively, people give weight to her speech. When she finally speaks, her words are valued, remembered, and respected because her silence gave them power. Sometimes silence is the best dawah. When she responds to mockery with dignity, people witness the beauty of Islam in her character. Her silence becomes a reflection of faith stronger than arguments could ever convey. Her silence is also an act of self-respect. She does not waste her time or energy on baseless talk. By staying quiet, she preserves her focus for what truly matters: worship, growth, and service to others. In silence, she discovers herself. Reflection allows her to recognize her strengths, confront her weaknesses, and align her goals with Allah's pleasure. This self-awareness is born in quietness, where wisdom speaks louder than noise. Silence that speaks with wisdom is a crown of dignity. It is not about being mute, but about knowing when silence holds more value than speech. A queen in Islam uses silence as a tool of strength, mercy, and reflection. And through it, she earns respect in this world and closeness to Allah in the hereafter. Patience is not simply waiting, it is the strength to remain calm while trusting Allah's plan. A queen in Islam knows that true power comes when she endures hardship with dignity. Every test becomes an opportunity to grow closer to Allah, and every moment of patience becomes a step towards success in both worlds. Patience builds inner strength because it teaches reliance. When life feels heavy, she remembers that Allah is her support. That reliance fuels her with courage, reminding her that no burden is greater than what He has equipped her to bear. Through patience, she finds resilience that surprises even herself. Trials reveal what is hidden in the heart. Anyone can remain calm in ease, but only those with true strength endure in hardship. Patience polishes the heart, removing arrogance and pride, and replacing them with humility and trust. In this way, patience becomes her teacher, shaping her character with wisdom. When calamity strikes, patience is her shield. Instead of breaking down completely, she gathers her composure and seeks Allah's help. She may cry, but she does not despair. She may feel pain, but she does not lose faith. Her strength lies not in ignoring pain, but in carrying it with grace. Patience also teaches discipline. It holds her back from responding hastily in anger or falling into sin out of frustration. This self-control becomes a mark of her inner strength, proving that she is not ruled by her emotions, but by her faith. That restraint is true nobility. Sometimes patience means waiting for the right moment. She may desire something desperately, but she trusts that Allah's timing is perfect. This waiting builds endurance, reminding her that rushing only leads to regret. Patience allows her to receive blessings at the best time, not just at her time. Patience in worship strengthens her soul. Waking for prayer, fasting during long days, and holding her tongue in times of provocation all require endurance. Each act of discipline builds her spiritually, layer by layer, until patience becomes second nature in her life. Through patience, she learns gratitude. By enduring hardship, she begins to appreciate ease more deeply. What once seemed ordinary becomes a blessing, and what once was overlooked becomes precious. This perspective makes her richer than any treasure of this world. Patience also refines her relationships. Instead of reacting harshly, she responds with understanding. She tolerates mistakes, forgives easily, and avoids unnecessary conflict. This patience makes her a source of peace for her family and community, proving that inner strength inspires outer harmony. Her patience in seeking knowledge builds her wisdom. She knows that growth takes time and effort. She sits through lessons, studies diligently, and reflects deeply, even when it feels slow. This persistence eventually transforms her into a woman of insight and clarity. Sometimes patience is quiet endurance, and sometimes it is active perseverance. She endures pain silently when needed, but she also pushes forward with determination when action is required. Both forms of patience strengthen her, for they teach her when to wait and when to strive. Patience protects her from despair. Even when life seems unfair, she holds on to hope that Allah will bring relief. This hope sustains her when everything else feels lost. Her strength lies in never giving up, because she knows Allah never abandons those who remain patient. In her silence, patience speaks. She does not complain endlessly about her struggles, but she turns her heart to Allah in dua. Her calmness becomes a message to those around her. That strength is not about shouting your pain, but about enduring with trust in your Creator. Patience transforms pain into purpose. A loss that could have broken her becomes the reason she turns to Allah more sincerely. A difficulty that could have shattered her becomes the push she needed to grow stronger. Through patience, she turns wounds into wisdom. When she practices patience, she inspires others. People see her composure, her steadiness, and her trust in Allah, and they gain hope themselves. Her patience is not only for her own strength, but also a light for others struggling in their own trials. Patience builds inner strength because it requires sacrifice. She sacrifices her comfort, her impulses, and her desires for something greater. These sacrifices may be unseen by people, but they are rewarded by Allah, who promises that patience brings limitless reward. Patience in the face of injustice becomes her armor. She may not always be able to fight back immediately, but she trusts Allah's justice. This trust gives her peace while others are consumed by anger. Her strength lies in knowing that Allah is the ultimate judge. Patience also teaches her consistency. She does not worship Allah only when it feels easy, but remains committed through fatigue and challenge. This steady perseverance strengthens her soul, making her reliable and disciplined in her devotion. In times of difficulty, patience helps her focus on solutions instead of problems. Instead of drowning in negativity, she seeks wisdom in the test. This mindset makes her stronger because she looks beyond pain to the lessons hidden within. Her patience in dealing with people becomes a form of ibadah. She endures rudeness without losing her dignity, forgives those who hurt her, and treats others with kindness even when they don't deserve it. This strength is only possible because of her taqwa. Patience is not passive, it is active faith. She does not sit idle, but continues striving while waiting for Allah's help. This balance between effort and endurance makes her a woman of action as well as a woman of trust. Sometimes patience means holding her tongue when insulted. She knows that responding with anger may win the argument but lose her peace. By remaining calm, she protects her honor and leaves the matter to Allah, who defends those who remain patient. Patience builds emotional strength. Instead of being overwhelmed by fear or sadness, she learns to manage her feelings with wisdom. Her heart becomes anchored, and storms that would have shaken others leave her steady. This stability is a gift from Allah. Her patience in trials deepens her connection with Allah. She turns to Him more sincerely, prays with more focus, and makes dua with more urgency. The hardship becomes a bridge to closeness with her Lord, and that closeness becomes her greatest strength. Patience also strengthens her gratitude in ease. Because she has endured hardship, she does not take blessings lightly. She values every comfort, every smile, and every ease as a gift. This gratitude enriches her soul and brings contentment. Through patience, she learns humility. She realizes that life is not always in her control, and she surrenders her affairs to Allah. This surrender is not weakness but true strength, because it allows her to walk with peace even when she cannot see the path ahead. Her patience with herself is also important. She does not demand perfection instantly, but accepts growth step by step. Each small effort is progress, and her patience with her journey makes her stronger in the long run. Sometimes patience is the strength to let go. She releases what she cannot control, forgives what cannot be changed, and moves forward with trust in Allah. This ability to let go of burdens makes her heart lighter and her soul stronger. Patience builds inner strength because it transforms trials into treasures. A queen in Islam understands that patience is not just about enduring life, but about growing through it. Every tear, every delay, every hardship becomes a stepping stone to greater strength, dignity, and closeness to Allah. A queen in Islam understands that even the smallest gesture can become an act of worship. Her smile is not ordinary, it carries mercy, it uplifts hearts, eases burdens, and spreads hope. When she smiles sincerely, she is giving charity, as the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, reminded us. Her smile is not just about showing happiness, it reflects compassion. When someone feels unseen, her smile reassures them that they matter. This simple act often has more power than a long lecture. It is mercy expressed through gentleness. A smile that carries mercy can heal wounds unseen by the eye. Someone struggling silently may find comfort in her kindness. She may not even know the impact, but Allah records the reward for every heart she lifts with sincerity. Her smile also reflects gratitude. She smiles because she trusts Allah's plan, even when life is not perfect. This positive outlook is contagious, reminding others that contentment comes not from wealth or status, but from a heart filled with faith. When she smiles, she embodies strength. It is easy to frown in hardship, but smiling with patience shows inner resilience. Her mercy-filled smile tells the world that no matter the struggle, her trust in Allah gives her peace. A smile becomes powerful when it is free of arrogance. She smiles not to show superiority, but to share warmth. Her humility shines in her expression, making others feel safe, respected, and valued. That humility makes her smile priceless. Her smile in the home carries special weight. For her family, it becomes a source of stability. Children feel loved, a spouse feels comforted, and parents feel honored when she greets them with kindness. Her smile is the glue that keeps love strong. When she smiles at strangers, she spreads mercy beyond her circle. A simple greeting with warmth may brighten the day of someone burdened with worries. Such acts may seem small, but in Allah's eyes they are mountains of good. Her smile is a reminder of hope. Even when she herself is struggling, she shares positivity with others. This mercy-filled gesture teaches that helping others smile often eases one's own pain, for Allah places comfort in giving comfort. A smile that carries mercy is silent dawah. Without a word, she shows the beauty of Islam through kindness. Non-Muslims and Muslims alike are drawn to her sincerity, for her character speaks louder than any argument. Her smile becomes a shield against negativity. Instead of responding harshly to ignorance, she answers with gentleness. This smile is not weakness, but wisdom, because it disarms hostility and protects her dignity. Smiling with mercy is also a form of forgiveness. Instead of holding grudges, she chooses to let go and replace bitterness with kindness. That act of smiling despite hurt reflects a heart purified by taqwa. Her smile in prayer is unseen by people but noticed by Allah. The peace she feels in sujood shows on her face even when she rises. This inner joy is reflected outwardly, proof that her heart is connected to her Lord. And a queen in Islam smiles even at those younger than her, teaching them compassion. Her mercy-filled expression tells them they are valued, shaping their confidence and reminding them that kindness is the true mark of strength. Her smile also teaches resilience to her peers. They see that she does not collapse under pressure but faces challenges with faith. That example encourages them to carry their burdens with patience, just as she does. Smiling with mercy removes barriers between people. Where words may fail, a smile opens doors. It softens hearts, eases tension, and creates bonds of trust. That is why a smile is often more effective than long conversations. A smile that carries mercy is not limited to happiness. Sometimes she smiles while hiding her own pain simply to prevent others from feeling burdened. This selflessness is an act of compassion recorded by Allah. Her smile shines brightest in service. When she gives charity, helps the needy, or supports the weak, she does so with warmth. Her smile tells them she is not helping out of duty, but out of genuine love for the sake of Allah. A smile is timeless. Unlike jewels or garments, it does not cost anything, yet it enriches everyone who receives it. By smiling with mercy, she spreads wealth of the heart, leaving others richer than before. Her smile shows that mercy begins with the self. By smiling, she lifts her own spirit, reminding herself of Allah's blessings. This optimism helps her approach challenges with hope instead of despair. When she smiles at her parents, it becomes an act of worship. This gesture, filled with mercy, earns her prayers from them and blessings from Allah. Her smile becomes a form of honor and gratitude toward those who raised her. Her smile is a silent dua for peace. Without saying a word, she wishes goodness for the one she smiles at. That unspoken prayer carries weight, and Allah knows the sincerity behind it. A queen in Islam never underestimates the power of a smile. She knows it can change moods, strengthen faith, and heal hearts. This understanding makes her smile intentional, a form of mercy she spreads generously. And even in the darkest times, her smile shows faith in Allah's light. She trusts that relief will come, and that trust radiates from her face. Others see her and are reminded to hope, no matter how heavy their trials. Her smile reflects tawakkul. She knows Allah is in control, so she faces life with calmness. This reliance shines through her expression, reassuring those around her that true strength lies in trusting the Almighty. A smile that carries mercy has no boundaries. It reaches family, neighbors, friends, and even strangers. It crosses language and culture, proving that kindness is a universal language written by Allah on the heart. Her smile is remembered long after words are forgotten. People may forget conversations, but they will never forget how she made them feel with her warmth. This legacy of kindness outlives her, continuing to inspire after she is gone. Her smile is not just an expression, but a reflection of her soul. Filled with mercy, it carries the light of faith and spreads love wherever she goes. For a queen in Islam, her greatest jewels are not worn on her head, but shown on her face through a smile that carries mercy. A queen in Islam understands that her strength is not measured by wealth, influence, or titles. It lies in her dua. While others rely on worldly tools, she raises her hands to the skies and speaks to the Lord of the worlds. Her dua is her greatest weapon because it connects her directly with the one who controls every affair. When she feels weak, her dua becomes her shield. She whispers her fears and hopes to Allah, and through that connection she finds courage. People may fail to support her, but her dua reminds her that Allah is always near, always listening. Her dua is a weapon because it never misses its mark. Even if the answer is delayed, it is stored, redirected, or returned in a way far better than she imagined. No prayer is wasted, for Allah has promised that He hears every call. This certainty strengthens her heart. Through dua, she fights battles unseen. Worries, doubts, and unseen dangers are all met with her pleas to Allah. She may not know the traps around her, but her dua clears her path. That is why she treasures it more than any worldly defense. Her dua is her refuge when life feels overwhelming. At night, in sujood, she pours her heart out, and that conversation with Allah restores her spirit. What once felt unbearable becomes lighter, because she placed her burden where it belongs, with Him. When she makes dua, she is never unarmed. Even if she has nothing in her hands, she has everything with her heart. Her du'as carry more power than armies because they are directed to the one who says be, and it is. That knowledge makes her unshakable. Her du'a becomes a weapon against despair. Whenever hopelessness creeps in, she reminds herself that Allah is greater than her problems. By calling on Him, she replaces anxiety with peace, knowing He never ignores the sincere cries of His servant. In every hardship, her du'a builds resilience. The more she asks Allah for strength, the stronger she becomes. This weapon not only protects her, but also shapes her into a woman of patience and faith. Dua builds her from the inside out. Her dua is also her weapon against arrogance. By constantly asking Allah, she acknowledges her need for Him. This humility protects her honor and ensures that success never blinds her. Her dua keeps her grounded while still aiming high. Sometimes her dua is whispered silently, yet it shakes the heavens. Angels carry her words and Allah responds with mercy. The world may not hear her voice, but the Lord of the throne does. This unseen power makes her dua unmatched. Her dua is timeless. She prays for her parents, her children, and generations she will never see. Her dua outlives her, protecting and blessing her descendants. This weapon stretches beyond her lifetime, leaving a legacy of mercy. She knows that dua is not limited to moments of need. She makes dua in gratitude, in joy, and in ease. By constantly remembering Allah, her weapon is always sharp, ready to defend her against trials and temptations. Her dua is her comfort in loneliness. Even when no one understands her struggles, she speaks to Allah. She never feels abandoned because her dua assures her that Allah's door is always open, day and night. That closeness is her strength. Her dua also becomes her weapon against sin. When she feels weak, she asks Allah for protection. When she feels tempted, she seeks His help to resist. By doing this, she shields herself from falling into traps that would harm her faith. Her dua gives her courage to dream big. She asks Allah for the impossible, knowing nothing is beyond His power. While others limit themselves, her dua expands her horizons because she knows Allah's treasures never run out. When calamity strikes, her first instinct is dua, not despair. This habit turns her pain into worship and her fear into strength. Her dua transforms tragedy into an opportunity to connect deeply with her Creator. Her dua is a weapon that never rusts. Unlike worldly tools that weaken with use, dua only grows stronger the more it is used. Her constant supplications polish her heart and keep her spirit alive with hope. She knows that dua is answered in three ways. Allah gives immediately, delays for a better time, or stores the reward for the hereafter. This understanding makes her patient. Whatever the outcome, she knows her dua is never in vain. Her dua is also her shield in the unseen world. She asks Allah for protection from envy, jealousy, and evil forces she cannot see. This weapon safeguards her from dangers beyond her knowledge. She prays not only for herself but for others. Her mercy-filled du'as bring blessings to her family, friends, and even strangers. Allah loves those who pray for others, and in doing so, her weapon benefits her as well. Her du'a builds her trust in Allah's wisdom. Even when she does not receive what she asked for, she knows Allah has given her what is best. This acceptance transforms disappointment into strength. Her dua in the last third of the night becomes her secret weapon. While the world sleeps, she rises to call upon Allah. In those sacred moments, she feels closest to Him, and her heart fills with peace no worldly comfort could provide. Sometimes her dua is answered in subtle ways. A door opens, a difficulty lifts, or peace enters her heart unexpectedly. She knows these are responses from Allah, signs that her weapon has struck exactly where it was meant to. Her dua is her reminder that she is never helpless. Even when resources are limited, even when options run out, dua keeps her strong. As long as she can raise her hands, she has access to infinite power. Her dua teaches her perseverance. By asking repeatedly, she learns patience. By trusting Allah's timing, she gains strength. Dua becomes her weapon not only for solutions, but for building character. Her dua is her secret strength in public and private. People may see her calmness, but they do not see the countless prayers behind it. What they admire outwardly is fueled by the weapon she wields inwardly. Her dua brings barakah into her life. Even small blessings grow when she asks Allah to place goodness in them. Her weapon not only protects but multiplies her provisions and happiness. When she cries in dua, her tears are weapons too. They soften her heart, erase her sins, and draw her closer to Allah. These moments of vulnerability become her greatest sources of strength. Her dua is her greatest weapon because it connects her weakness to Allah's strength. Through it she finds courage, peace, and resilience. With dua she is never defeated, for she fights her battles with the power of the Almighty by her side. Contentment is the treasure that no amount of gold or silver can buy. A queen in Islam who carries satisfaction in her heart shines brighter than anyone adorned with riches. Her peace does not come from what is in her hand, but from what rests in her soul. Wealth can fill homes with luxury, but only contentment can fill hearts with peace. Without it, even palaces feel empty. With it, even the simplest home becomes a palace of joy. That is why her true wealth is measured by her gratitude, not her possessions. Contentment gives her freedom. She is not enslaved by desire or envy, for she trusts that what Allah has given her is best. This freedom allows her to walk with dignity, unshaken by comparisons with others. Her calm heart is worth more than any crown. When she embraces contentment, she sees blessings where others see lack. A small meal becomes a feast, a simple dress becomes beautiful, and her life feels abundant. Her outlook transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary gifts from Allah. Contentment is her shield against greed. She knows that chasing endless desires leads to exhaustion. Instead, she finds joy in sufficiency, remembering the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who said that true wealth is richness of the soul. Through contentment, she gains strength in hardship. Even when circumstances are difficult, she accepts them with patience, knowing Allah's wisdom is greater than her own. This acceptance fills her with peace that wealth cannot purchase. Her contentment makes her grateful for small blessings. A sip of water, a breath of fresh air, or a kind word feels precious to her heart. By valuing the little things, she becomes richer than those who overlook countless favors from Allah. Contentment outshines wealth because it removes jealousy. She does not compete with others but celebrates their blessings while cherishing her own. This mindset frees her from bitterness and fills her life with harmony. Her contentment also shapes her relationships. She does not burden others with endless demands but finds joy in simplicity. This quality makes her a source of peace for her family, building love that is not tied to material possessions. Contentment inspires generosity. Because she values what she has, she feels free to share it. Her giving is not from abundance, but from gratitude. This generosity earns her more respect than wealth ever could. Her heart is light because she does not chase what lies beyond her reach. She focuses on what Allah has placed in her hands, trusting that it is enough. This lightness allows her to live with joy while others tire themselves chasing more. Contentment keeps her away from unnecessary worry. Instead of asking, why don't I have this? She says, Alhamdulillah for what I have. This gratitude protects her from despair, turning every day into a blessing. Wealth can attract eyes, but contentment attracts hearts. People admire her calmness, her peace, and her happiness, even when her life seems simple. They see in her a strength that no amount of money could replicate. Her contentment is an act of worship. By accepting Allah's decree with love, she demonstrates true faith. Every time she chooses peace over complaint, she earns reward and strengthens her bond with Allah. Contentment teaches her to live within her means. She does not burden herself with debt or unnecessary luxuries. This simplicity protects her from stress and allows her to focus on what truly matters: faith, family, and service. With contentment, she is never truly poor. Even if her wealth decreases, her gratitude keeps her rich. Others may pity her material state, but she knows that Allah has placed priceless treasures in her heart. Contentment outshines wealth because it brings joy in both ease and hardship. Whether she is given plenty or little, her heart remains steady. This stability is rare, and it is what makes her truly noble. Her contentment allows her to smile sincerely. She does not fake happiness to impress others because her peace is genuine. People can see that her joy comes from within, not from material displays. Sometimes her contentment inspires those around her more than wealth ever could. Her calmness in simplicity shows others that true happiness is not about owning more, but appreciating what is already there. Contentment protects her from wasting time. Instead of endlessly chasing possessions, she invests her energy in worship, knowledge, and service. These pursuits enrich her life in ways wealth cannot. Her contentment also gives her strength in trials. When something is taken from her, she does not collapse, for she was never attached to it. Her peace lies in Allah, not in possessions. This makes her resilient when life changes. Contentment shapes her dua. Instead of always asking for more, she often asks Allah to bless what she has. This sincere gratitude increases her barakah, proving that contentment itself brings more than wealth could. Her contentment also influences her modesty. She does not feel the need to show off or compete in appearances. She shines with dignity because her worth is not measured by the standards of others. Wealth may fade, but contentment lasts. A rich person without peace is still poor, but a content person without riches is still wealthy. This eternal truth guides her choices and keeps her anchored in faith. Her contentment fills her with trust in Allah. She knows that what was withheld from her was never meant for her, and what she received was always destined. This trust removes regret and fills her heart with serenity. Contentment allows her to enjoy life's simple pleasures. A quiet walk, a heartfelt conversation, or a small act of kindness feels priceless. This ability to savor simplicity makes her happier than those lost in endless pursuit. Her contentment protects her health. Stress from greed and comparison fades when she chooses gratitude. Her mind is calmer, her body lighter, and her spirit stronger because she lives free from the weight of desire. Contentment makes her a role model for future generations. Her children and community learn from her example that peace is not bought but cultivated. Through her, they understand that happiness lies in appreciating Allah's gifts. She knows that contentment is rewarded not only in this life, but in the hereafter. Those who accept Allah's decree will enter Jannah with hearts free from envy and grief. That eternal peace is the greatest wealth of all. Contentment outshines wealth because it crowns her with joy that cannot be taken away. She may have little in her hands, but she has everything in her heart. Her calmness, her gratitude, and her faith make her wealthier than the richest of this world. Walking with purpose means every step is intentional. A queen in Islam does not wander aimlessly, but carries herself with direction. She knows her life has meaning, and her stride reflects her awareness of Allah's guidance at every moment. Dignity is seen in how she moves through the world. She does not rush into chaos nor stumble into sin. Her walk is calm, balanced, and graceful, showing the strength of a heart anchored in faith. Her purpose is clear: to live for the pleasure of Allah. This goal gives meaning to her actions, her choices, and even the way she carries herself in public. Her dignity becomes a silent reminder of her devotion. When she walks with purpose, she leaves behind trivial distractions. She does not waste her time chasing things that add no value to her soul. Her steps are directed towards growth, goodness, and eternal success. Her dignity is not arrogance. She does not look down on others but walks with humility. True nobility shines in her because she respects herself and respects everyone around her. That balance makes her presence admirable. A purposeful walk means she avoids harm. She chooses her paths wisely, ensuring they lead her closer to Allah. Every step away from sin is a victory, and every step towards worship is a blessing. Her dignity is her shield. Even when mocked, she does not stumble into disgrace. She holds her head high, not out of pride, but out of awareness that Allah has honored those who live with taqwa. Walking with purpose requires clarity. She knows where she is headed and why. This clarity saves her from being swayed by worldly trends or shallow influences. Her destination is Jannah, and her stride is steady. Her dignity shows in her modesty. She dresses with care, speaks with grace, and carries herself with honor. These qualities reflect her inner strength more than any adornment could. Her dignity makes her shine. Every purposeful step is a form of worship. Whether she goes to seek knowledge, help the needy, or fulfill family duties, her intentions elevate her walk into an act of devotion. Even her movement becomes a sign of faith. Walking with dignity means she avoids arrogance in success. Even when blessed, she does not flaunt her achievements. Instead, she attributes everything to Allah, remaining humble and grounded. That humility makes her greatness real. Her purpose makes her resilient. When life pushes her down, she rises again, walking firmly. She refuses to give up because her steps are driven by faith, not fleeting emotions. This perseverance inspires others around her. Her dignity is tested in hardship. Even when insulted or disrespected, she does not retaliate in ways that lower her values. She responds with patience, proving that her worth is not defined by others' opinions. Walking with purpose means she values time. Every step she takes is a reminder that life is short and every moment counts. This awareness keeps her focused on what truly matters instead of being distracted by the temporary. Her dignity is seen in silence as much as in speech. She does not need to shout for attention. Her quiet strength is enough. People respect her presence because it radiates calmness and wisdom. Walking with purpose gives her confidence. She does not seek validation from the world because she already knows her direction. This self-assurance comes from faith, and it makes her presence magnetic. Her dignity ensures she does not beg for respect. She earns it naturally through her conduct, her kindness, and her patience. People admire her not because she demands it, but because she deserves it. A queen in Islam walks with purpose when she follows the footsteps of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the righteous women of Islam. Their examples give her strength, reminding her that dignity is timeless. Her walk is not hurried by fear of losing out because she trusts in Allah's decree. This trust keeps her calm and collected, even when others rush blindly. Her dignity lies in her composure. Walking with purpose also means avoiding useless gatherings and conversations. She values her presence and does not waste it where her faith could be compromised. This discipline preserves her honor. Her dignity is reflected in kindness. She treats others with compassion regardless of their status. By doing so, she elevates herself even higher because true dignity comes from lifting others, not pushing them down. Her purposeful walk influences her family. Children learn from her clarity and strength, while loved ones feel peace in her presence. Her dignity becomes a foundation for those who look up to her. Walking with purpose means aiming for excellence in everything. She strives to be her best in worship, work, and relationships. This drive for ihsan makes her stand out because she is consistent and sincere. Her dignity protects her from regret. She does not compromise her values to please people. By staying true to herself and to Allah, she preserves her honor both in this world and the hereafter. Walking with purpose gives her inner peace. She is not scattered between conflicting desires. Her heart is anchored in faith, and that gives her calmness that wealth and fame could never provide. Her dignity is noticed even by those who dislike her. They may not agree with her beliefs, but they cannot deny her grace and composure. Respect is earned through character, and she earns it daily. Walking with purpose strengthens her worship. Every place she goes, she remembers Allah. Every step becomes meaningful, whether towards the masjid, a neighbor's home, or a classroom. Her faith shapes her direction. Her dignity allows her to say no when needed. She does not follow harmful trends just to fit in. This self-respect sets her apart, proving that dignity means protecting your values no matter what. Walking with purpose and dignity is a reflection of faith. A queen in Islam knows her life is a journey towards Allah, and every step is part of that path. With intention and grace, she leaves behind footprints of wisdom, mercy, and strength. Forgiveness is not a weakness, it is a strength that elevates the soul. A queen in Islam knows that holding grudges weighs the heart down, while letting go brings freedom. Forgiving for the sake of Allah lifts her above the bitterness of this world and draws her closer to peace. When she forgives, she imitates the mercy Allah shows His creation. Every day she sins, and every day Allah forgives. By practicing forgiveness herself, she reflects a fraction of that divine compassion. Her soul grows lighter each time she lets go. Forgiveness is not about excusing the wrong, but about choosing peace over resentment. She understands that Allah is the ultimate judge, so she leaves justice to Him. This trust in His wisdom frees her from the poison of revenge. Her forgiveness elevates her dignity. Instead of lowering herself to the level of those who harmed her, she rises above. People admire her grace, for they see strength in her ability to let go when others would cling to anger. Sometimes forgiveness means healing herself. She realizes that clinging to hurt only prolongs her pain. By forgiving, she closes the wound and allows her heart to breathe again. This inner healing strengthens her from within. A queen in Islam forgives even when the apology never comes. She does not wait for people to acknowledge their wrongs before moving on. She forgives for her own peace and for the sake of Allah, who promises reward for those who pardon others. Her forgiveness influences her family. Children raised by a forgiving mother learn compassion instead of resentment. A spouse feels peace instead of hostility. Her home becomes a place of love because her forgiveness sets the tone. Forgiveness strengthens her relationships. Everyone makes mistakes, but she knows that love and respect grow when people give each other chances. Her mercy prevents small issues from becoming permanent divides. When she forgives, her dua becomes more powerful. A heart free of grudges is more sincere when calling upon Allah. By letting go of anger, she opens the door for Allah's mercy to descend upon her. Forgiveness is also protection. Anger blinds the heart and leads to regretful actions. By forgiving, she saves herself from sins that could result from unchecked emotions. Her soul stays pure, untainted by vengeance. Her forgiveness is a form of sadaqah. Just as giving wealth benefits others, pardoning mistakes benefits hearts. Both are acts of generosity, but forgiveness often demands more sacrifice. That sacrifice is what elevates her in the sight of Allah. A queen in Islam forgives with sincerity. She does not pretend to let go while secretly harboring anger. Instead, she wipes the slate clean, hoping that Allah will do the same for her on the day of judgment. Forgiveness elevates her soul by teaching humility. She realizes she is not perfect and also in need of mercy. By forgiving others, she admits her own shortcomings and hopes Allah will forgive her in return. Sometimes forgiveness comes with wisdom. She may forgive, but also set boundaries to prevent repeated harm. This balance shows that forgiveness is not about naivety, but about choosing peace while protecting dignity. Her forgiveness brings peace to her community. When others witness her letting go of grudges, they are inspired to do the same. Her example creates unity where bitterness could have caused division. Forgiveness elevates her because it requires patience. Letting go of deep pain is not easy, but with each effort, her heart grows stronger. This endurance refines her character and earns her great reward. When she forgives, she feels a weight lifted. Resentment is like carrying a heavy load, but forgiveness drops the burden. This release allows her to walk freely, spiritually elevated, and emotionally lighter. Her forgiveness is not weakness but courage. It takes strength to confront pain and still choose mercy. This courage transforms her from a victim of hurt into a victor over her own emotions. She remembers that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, forgave even those who caused him immense pain. If he could forgive such severe harm, then she knows forgiveness in her own life will only bring her closer to greatness. Forgiveness keeps her focused on the hereafter. She understands that temporary disputes are not worth losing eternal rewards. By pardoning others, she invests in Jannah, where peace is everlasting. Her forgiveness often surprises others. When they expect retaliation but find mercy, their hearts soften. Some even come closer to Allah after experiencing her kindness. This is how her forgiveness becomes dawah. Forgiveness elevates her because it aligns her with Allah's attributes. He is Al-Ghafur, the most forgiving, and by forgiving others, she draws closer to His mercy. Each act of pardon becomes a reflection of His divine qualities. Sometimes forgiveness is silent. She may not announce it, but she lets go privately in her heart. This unseen act is known by Allah, and He raises her rank for her sincerity. Her forgiveness can restore broken bonds. Families torn apart by anger can heal when she chooses mercy. Friendships on the edge of collapse can survive when she decides to forgive. Her choice becomes a bridge to reconciliation. Forgiveness prevents bitterness from controlling her personality. She refuses to let past pain define her present or future. Instead, she chooses joy, peace, and growth, all of which elevate her soul. When she forgives, she trusts that Allah's justice is greater than her anger. Even if people escape accountability here, no one escapes Him. This belief allows her to move on without resentment. Her forgiveness is also an act of self-respect. She refuses to let grudges chain her down. By forgiving, she reclaims her strength and refuses to give control of her emotions to those who hurt her. Forgiveness elevates her because it increases her empathy. Having forgiven, she understands the struggles of others more deeply. Her compassion grows, and with it, her soul rises. Forgiveness that elevates the soul is a choice made for Allah, not for people. A queen in Islam knows that letting go brings peace, dignity, and closeness to her Creator. Her forgiveness is her strength, her beauty, and her path to Jannah. Her modesty is not just about clothing, it is about her entire being. A queen in Islam knows that modesty is a crown placed upon her heart, reflected in how she speaks, behaves, and presents herself. This modesty commands respect far beyond appearances. When she lowers her gaze, she sends a message of dignity. She shows that her worth is not open for display, but guarded with honor. This simple act of modesty commands admiration from those who recognize her self-respect. Her modesty in dress is not about hiding beauty, but about protecting it. She covers not because she is forced, but because she values her worth. Her choice makes people respect her for who she is, not for how she looks. Modesty shapes her speech. She avoids gossip, harsh words, and arrogance. When she speaks, her words are thoughtful, kind, and respectful. This discipline commands respect because it shows her maturity and wisdom. And her modesty is also in her actions. She does not seek unnecessary attention or validation. She moves with quiet confidence. And this humility makes her presence powerful without needing to announce it. A queen in Islam understands that modesty is strength, not weakness. It protects her from exploitation and elevates her in dignity. People respect her not because she conforms to trends, but because she stands firmly by her values. Her modesty also inspires trust. People feel safe confiding in her because they know she respects boundaries. This trust is a direct result of her disciplined, modest character. When she combines modesty with kindness, she becomes unforgettable. People admire her not only for her faith, but also for her gentle manners. Her modesty amplifies her goodness, making her respected by all who meet her. Her modesty is seen even in her silence. She does not need to dominate conversations or demand attention. Her quiet dignity speaks volumes, proving that true influence does not require loudness. Her modesty shields her from arrogance in success. Even when she achieves great things, she remains humble, attributing all to Allah. This humility makes people respect her even more because she does not boast of her blessings. Her modesty shows in her generosity. She gives without expecting recognition. Her charity is discreet, her kindness quiet, and her service sincere. This silent giving earns her admiration that showiness never could. And a queen in Islam knows modesty is a reflection of taqwa. She carries herself as though Allah is watching because He is. This consciousness commands respect because it keeps her grounded in sincerity. Her modesty commands respect because it is rare. In a world obsessed with showing off, her ability to remain humble and reserved makes her stand out. People admire her for going against the tide with grace. Her modesty also protects her peace. By not exposing everything about herself, she keeps part of her life sacred. This privacy shields her from unnecessary harm and ensures her dignity remains intact. When she displays modesty, she encourages others to do the same. Her example becomes a form of silent dawah, teaching that true beauty lies in humility and respect. Many hearts are moved by her quiet strength. Her modesty commands respect because it is consistent. She does not switch values depending on who is watching. Whether in private or public, her dignity remains the same. People admire such authenticity. Her modesty teaches patience. She does not chase trends or compete with others. Instead, she waits for Allah's approval, which is the highest form of success. This patience elevates her above shallow comparisons, and her modesty is empowering. By controlling how she presents herself, she defines her worth on her own terms, through faith, not society's standards. This empowerment commands respect naturally. A queen in Islam carries modesty in her smile. It is warm but not suggestive, kind but not excessive. This balance shows self-awareness and earns her admiration from both men and women alike. Her modesty is also reflected in how she handles conflict. She does not expose others' faults or humiliate them publicly. Instead, she maintains dignity even when wronged. This restraint makes her honorable. Her modesty commands respect because it comes from the heart. It is not forced or artificial but sincere. People sense that sincerity and it makes them hold her in high regard. Modesty keeps her free from envy. She is content with what she has and does not flaunt it to provoke jealousy in others. This humility earns her genuine respect rather than shallow admiration. Her modesty is balanced. She is approachable and kind, but never compromising her values. This balance allows her to be respected in every environment she enters. Her modesty teaches wisdom. She knows when to speak, when to stay silent, and when to step back. This awareness makes people seek her advice and hold her in esteem. Her modesty reflects her love for Allah. By protecting her dignity, she shows devotion to His commands. This obedience is what makes her truly honorable in both worlds. Her modesty commands respect even from critics. Even those who disagree with her beliefs cannot deny the dignity she carries. Her presence forces acknowledgement of her strength. Her modesty gives her authority without force. People listen when she speaks because they trust her judgment. Her humility gives weight to her words, proving that respect comes from character, not status. Her modesty is her beauty. It outlasts physical appearances which fade with time. Her dignity remains radiant throughout her life, making her admired long after youth has passed. Her modesty commands respect because it reflects inner nobility. A queen in Islam knows her true value lies not in what she shows the world, but in what she preserves for Allah. That dignity is her crown, and it will shine brightest in the hereafter. A heart attached to the hereafter lives with clarity. It knows this world is temporary and fragile, while the next is eternal and perfect. A queen in Islam shapes her choices with this vision, refusing to trade forever for what fades. Her heart finds little satisfaction in material things. Cars, clothes, and wealth do not impress her as much as the promise of Jannah. This detachment does not make her ungrateful, it makes her wise, for she knows the true home lies ahead. When her heart is attached to the hereafter, she faces trials with patience. She sees hardship as temporary and relief as eternal. This mindset transforms pain into strength, for she remembers that paradise awaits those who endure. Her heart values prayer because it is her link to the eternal world. Each salah reminds her that life is short and that success lies in standing before Allah with peace. This awareness drives her to protect her prayers at all costs. A heart attached to the hereafter seeks forgiveness constantly. She knows mistakes are part of being human, but she also knows that repentance wipes them clean. Her concern is not about being flawless here, but about entering Jannah forgiven. Her heart does not envy those with worldly riches. She smiles at their success, but remembers that wealth without faith is nothing. Her focus remains on the treasures of the hereafter, treasures that never fade and never end. When her heart remembers death, she lives better. She does not waste time in arguments or grudges because she knows the grave is near. Instead, she invests her days in kindness, worship, and deeds that will last forever. Her attachment to the hereafter makes her humble. She does not boast about what she has because she knows it will all be left behind. True pride for her is in being counted among those who please Allah on the last day. She finds joy in charity not because of worldly recognition, but because she sees it as planting seeds in paradise. Each coin given, each smile shared, and each act of mercy becomes an investment in her eternal home. Her heart finds comfort in the Quran because it constantly reminds her of the hereafter. The verses about paradise fill her with hope, and the verses about the fire keep her cautious. This balance guides her every step. A heart attached to the hereafter finds beauty in simplicity. She does not need extravagance to feel honored. Her dignity comes from knowing she is working for a place where the carpets are of silk and the rivers flow beneath. Her heart values time more than money. She knows that every moment is either a step closer to Jannah or a step towards regret. This awareness makes her careful with how she spends her hours and her days. When she forgives others, it is because her heart is focused on the hereafter. She knows the reward for letting go is greater than the satisfaction of holding grudges. This eternal perspective makes her merciful. Her attachment to the hereafter gives her courage to speak the truth. Even if it costs her comfort here, she knows honesty will elevate her in the next life. This conviction makes her bold and respected. She treats people kindly because she knows Allah will question her about every interaction. Her kindness is not just manners, it is preparation for the day when deeds are weighed and every word is counted. Her heart attached to the hereafter helps her overcome temptations. She remembers that sin offers temporary pleasure but lasting regret. By focusing on eternity, she avoids choices that could harm her soul. She finds strength in patience during loss. When wealth, loved ones, or opportunities slip away, she remembers that nothing is truly lost. It is waiting for her in the hereafter if she responds with faith. A queen in Islam does not fear death the way others do because her heart is prepared. She sees it not as an end, but as a doorway. While others cling desperately to the world, she holds tightly to the hope of Jannah. Her heart is uplifted by remembrance of paradise. The thought of eternal gardens, peace, and seeing Allah brings her comfort in dark times. This hope makes her smile through difficulties others cannot endure. Her attachment to the hereafter makes her generous with knowledge. She teaches others not for praise but for reward in eternity. Her efforts continue as sadaqah jariyah, elevating her rank long after she leaves this world. When her heart is attached to the hereafter, she values sincerity. She knows deeds done for people are wasted, but deeds done for Allah are eternal. This focus purifies her intentions and strengthens her worship. Her heart finds dignity in modesty. She does not seek admiration here because she is waiting for the honor of being recognized in Jannah. This makes her consistent in her values regardless of worldly opinion. Her heart attached to the hereafter values relationships for Allah's sake. She loves, forgives, and helps others not for personal gain, but for reward in the hereafter. This sincerity makes her relationships pure. She carries herself with calmness because she sees the bigger picture. An insult here, a loss there, or a missed opportunity cannot shake her. Her eyes are fixed on the everlasting peace promised by Allah. Her attachment to the hereafter makes her brave in worship. She stands in prayer longer, recites Quran deeper, and makes dua with tears. She knows every moment spent with Allah will echo eternally in her favor. Her heart is attached to the hereafter when she raises her children. She instills in them values not for worldly success alone, but for eternal salvation. This vision makes her parenting purposeful and noble. She feels honored in serving others because she knows Allah rewards every act of kindness. Her service is not lost, it is recorded. Each gesture becomes part of her eternal treasure chest in Jannah. Her attachment to the hereafter makes her optimistic. Even in failure, she remembers that life here is not the end. This hope keeps her steady because she knows Allah's mercy outweighs her hardships. Her heart does not panic at change. Whether she gains or loses, she knows it is all temporary. Her focus on the hereafter gives her stability when life feels unstable. This stability makes her admired. A heart attached to the hereafter shines with purpose. A queen in Islam knows her journey is not about collecting the world, but about preparing for the eternal. Her heart beats with hope of Jannah, and that hope elevates her soul above all distractions. A true queen in Islam knows her life does not end when she leaves this world. What remains is her legacy, the deeds she planted that continue to bear fruit. Her words, actions, and character live on, testifying on her behalf when she can no longer speak. Every act of kindness becomes part of her story. A smile she offered, a prayer she made, or a hand she extended in generosity continues to echo in the lives of others. These small deeds accumulate into a lasting legacy. Her legacy is written not in wealth or fame, but in righteousness. Palaces and titles fade, but her worship, her charity, and her service to others are recorded with Allah. This record is eternal, preserved for the day of judgment. She understands that even teaching a single verse of the Quran can outlive her. When someone recites it, teaches it forward, or acts upon it, her reward continues to flow. This is how righteous deeds build a legacy beyond time. Her legacy is also in the way she raises her family. Children nurtured with love, values, and faith become carriers of her influence. Their prayers, their kindness, and their service all count as part of her ongoing reward. She writes her legacy with every word she speaks. Words of encouragement uplift generations, while words of wisdom shape futures. A righteous tongue becomes an instrument of eternal good. Even after her departure, her charity remains alive. A well she helped dig, a meal she provided, or a school she supported continue to serve people long after she has returned to Allah. These deeds write her name on the pages of eternity. Her legacy is written in hearts, not just books. People remember how she made them feel, how she treated them, and how she stood by her values. That memory becomes a living testimony of her righteousness. She does not wait for grand opportunities. She knows that even the smallest deed done sincerely for Allah writes a line in her legacy. A dua for someone in secret may be more powerful than public acts of generosity. Her legacy is written through patience. How she endured trials, how she carried herself with dignity, and how she trusted Allah in hardship inspire others to do the same. This example becomes part of her lasting influence, and when she forgives, she plants seeds of peace. Those she pardoned remember her kindness, and this memory becomes part of her story. Forgiveness itself becomes a righteous deed that outlives the moment. Her legacy is strengthened by sincerity. Deeds done to impress people vanish, but deeds done for Allah remain. She is careful to purify her intentions, knowing that only sincere deeds will be written as eternal rewards. She sees her life as a garden. Every prayer, every charity, and every act of worship is a seed. When she leaves this world, the garden continues to grow, producing fruits that she enjoys in the hereafter. Her legacy is also in service. Helping neighbors, comforting the distressed, or guiding the young may seem ordinary, but these actions ripple across time. Her service plants goodness in the lives of others long after she is gone. She writes her legacy with consistency. A small act repeated regularly becomes a mountain of reward. She knows that habits of righteousness leave deeper imprints than occasional grand gestures. Her legacy includes the dua she made. She prayed for her family, her community, and even those who never knew her. These prayers continue to protect and guide, becoming unseen blessings recorded for her. She knows that righteous deeds are investments. Every good action deposits into an eternal account, and when she leaves, the rewards continue. This is the legacy she strives to build, one that benefits her forever. Her legacy is written in her humility. She does good without seeking attention, and people remember her sincerity more than any display of wealth. This quiet dignity becomes a powerful memory. She understands that her legacy is shaped daily. Each choice, each word, and each action add to her record. She lives with awareness that her story is being written moment by moment. Her legacy is also tied to forgiveness she inspired. By letting go of grudges, she encouraged others to do the same. This ripple effect of mercy becomes part of her ongoing reward. Even her manners write a legacy. A soft word, a respectful greeting, or a patient response can influence generations. People may forget what she owned, but they never forget how she treated them. Her legacy is not measured by applause, but by prayers. When people remember her in their duas, she continues to benefit. A righteous woman ensures that her deeds inspire supplications long after her passing. She invests in knowledge as part of her legacy. Books she supported, lessons she taught, or wisdom she shared continue to guide people. Knowledge outlives the body and becomes a lantern for others. Her legacy is also in the example she set. By balancing faith and life with dignity, she becomes a role model. Even strangers learn from her character, and this silent influence becomes part of her reward. She writes her legacy with love. Every time she comforts a child, shows respect to elders, or supports her peers, she creates memories of compassion. Love offered sincerely for Allah's sake is never wasted, and her legacy reflects her relationship with Allah. Every secret dua, every hidden act of charity, and every moment of remembrance builds a record unseen by people but preserved by the Almighty. She knows that her legacy will be revealed on the Day of Judgment. The books of deeds will open and every righteous act will shine. In that moment, she will see how even her smallest efforts became treasures. Her legacy outshines worldly achievements. Titles, positions, and possessions fade, but her righteous deeds remain. They are the only accomplishments that accompany her to the grave and beyond. Her legacy, written with righteous deeds, becomes her true biography. People may forget her name, but her actions will continue to echo. A queen in Islam ensures that her life is not just lived, but written in the ink of worship, compassion, and sincerity. A true queen in Islam does not need validation from the world because her worth is defined by her connection with Allah. When she holds firmly to these golden principles, she walks with dignity no matter where life takes her. Her faith becomes her crown, her modesty becomes her shield, and her character becomes her legacy. Every challenge she faces only strengthens her resolve because she knows her true honor lies in being recognized by the Almighty. Let us strive to live with these values so that our daughters, sisters, and mothers continue to shine as examples of strength, purity, and faith. And may Allah make us all among those who are honored in this world and elevated in the hereafter.